Good morning, everybody. Happy Monday. Happy Memorial Day. Thank you to all of those who have served or continue to serve the country, as well as their family members. We are grateful and we appreciate the work that you've done. So yesterday, Henry mentioned, or maybe Saturday, Henry has mentioned, though, that we're going to be varying up our practices a little bit. So typically Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we're going to be working on the Golden 8, which is the main series that we've been studying and practicing. And then Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we're going to be mixing the basic 8 with a shortened version of the Golden 8 until we do enough of the basic 8 that we can just focus on that. So we're going to vary up the practices a little bit. Let's go ahead and start with our warm-ups. We're going to open up. Today we're going to do our circular breathing warm-up. So we're going to allow the feet to be parallel. Allowing the mind intent, the mind's eye, to travel to the bottoms of the feet. Letting them melt into the earth. Softening the knees. Relaxing the low back, allowing some length to happen in the low back and spine. Relaxing the shoulders. The tip of the tongue is touching the roof of the mouth, and the very top of the head is reaching up into the sky. We're breathing in and out through the nose. If you'd like now, take a little bit of space underneath the arms, allowing the arms to hang loose, but expand just a bit from the torso so that we can have greater chi and blood circulation. And then either keeping a soft focus, soft gaze with the eyes, or closing the eyes. We're inhaling through the nose, guiding the breath and chi to the lower dantian. That's that space 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button. Exhaling also through the nose down to the perineum. Inhaling all the way up to the big spine point at the back of the neck. That's about T1. And then exhaling through the nose to the palms. Going over this route again, we're inhaling to the lower dantian. Exhaling down to the perineum, the lowest aspect of the torso of the body. Inhaling up to the big spine point. Exhaling to the palms. Inhaling, lower dantian. Exhaling, perineum. Inhaling up to the big spine point. And exhaling to the palms. Continuing this route at your own pace. Allowing the breath to help guide the chi along this route, helping to facilitate the communication between the front of the body and the back of the body. Helping to facilitate greater communication between all the organ systems. Allowing the mind to relax into the breath. Allowing the breath to relax the body. And allowing the chi to flow in this circular route. Getting ready to finish up the circuit that you're on. And when you're ready, gently opening the eyes if they're closed. Letting the arms hang loose. And closing, bringing that left foot back to the right. Continuing on with our Golden 8 series, opening. Lung and large intestine exercise, reach for happiness. We're inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. Inhaling. And exhaling. In and out. Continuing on at your own pace, we're allowing the breath to draw forth the movement, harmonizing the breath and the exercise. And closing. Our heart, small intestine exercise, the archer exercise, opening. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Continuing on, allowing the mind to relax into the exercise. So if any other little thoughts pop up, just gently let them go. Let them know that you can play with those thoughts later. But right now, you give your mind a nice rest and allow it to relax into the exercise and into the breath. And getting ready to close. Closing. Our third exercise, between heaven and earth, the spleen and stomach exercise. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. Getting ready to close. Closing. Our Sanjiao exercise, turn it and look back. Inhaling, exhaling, in, and out. Inhaling, And exhale. Getting ready to close. Closing our liver gallbladder exercise, twist and release. Opening. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. And out. Continuing on, allowing the breath to guide the exercise, allowing the movement to be an expression of the breath. Getting ready to close. Closing. Kidney and urinary bladder systems, been for health. Inhaling. Exhaling. In. And out. Inhaling. And exhaling. In. Out. Inhaling back to the start. Getting ready to close. Closing our Ren exercise, the energy punch. Inhaling. Exhaling. In and out. Inhaling and exhaling. About 2 more times on each side. Getting ready to close. And our energy jump for the dew channel. Opening. It's in 2 parts. Inhaling. And then exhaling. Transitioning, inhaling as the arms come up, exhaling as they come down. And then allowing the momentum to gently release. Closing. Keeping the feet together so that we can retain all of that wonderful energy that we've been cultivating. Bringing the palms together. Generating a little bit of warmth as we transfer some of that chi to the palms. Getting ready for the facial rejuvenation exercises. Our magic number is 9. So most of these exercises are going to be in 9s. Washing the face 9 times. The brow and under the eye 9 times. And then wiping up and down the entirety of the nose 9 times. Circles, lower, middle, and upper aspect of the nose, inward and outward 9 times. Imagining just underneath the pupil at the cheekbone, there's a little divot, inward and outward. Dredging the channels of the scalp, using all the fingertips. Beating the drum. Grasping the ears. Making sure to use all of the fingertips. popping the cork using only the pointer finger. One fingertip on the philtrum, the other on the mandibular crease, inward and then outward. And then massaging the jaw using the base of the palm. Turning the head is what gives you the massaging action. Once you've done 9 times, our magic number turns to 12 times total, or 6 times each side. We're drawing the energy down from the head, brushing down the throat. Continuing on down the breastbone, 12 times total, or 6 times each side. Resting the palms of the lower dantian, about 3 to 4 finger breaths beneath the belly button. Closing the eyes. As you inhale, guiding the breath and the chi to that lower dantian, allowing it to fill up with energy. Exhale, letting that energy settle and store so that it may be used throughout the rest of the day. Inhaling, using the mind's eye, the mind intent, to draw the breath and the chi into the lower dantian, allowing it to fill up. Exhaling, allowing that energy to settle and store. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Taking the time to allow the mind to relax into the breath to relax the body. And allowing all that wonderful chi that you've been cultivating over the past half hour to gather into the lower dantian. And then settle and store so that it may be used throughout the rest of your day. Thank you all so very, very much. Sorry about little words getting stuck on the little tongue. It's maybe a little hard thing, but it has been so much fun practicing with you this morning. Henry, we're ready for your Chi Chat.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us on a special day, Memorial Day. We know that everyone, it's a holiday, so making it an extra effort to come out and join us on Zoom for practice, because Qigong, we don't take holidays for Qigong. It's something that we love to do every day, and this is something good for us. But I'll try to keep it brief today. Today is our 61st day of daily practice. That's a very significant milestone that we reached yesterday with the 60th. So today is like the start of a new cycle. When we look at Chinese medicine, we look at 5 elements, a lot of this is based on the idea that there's these cyclical things that happen, right? 24-hour day, right? You have sunrise, sunset, moon comes out, things like that. You have the moon cycle, right? About every 28 days. You have the 365-day year. We all have birthdays, right? Every year. So we have these cycles that happen in our lives, and the stars rotate, and those have cycles as well. You know, TV shows, I guess, they have cycles coming out every once a week or every year. There's something new. Um, so these things are kind of important to respect. And when we look at our some of the larger cycles, for example, in our lifetime, you know, there's the Chinese calendar, the horoscope stuff. So, you know, you have the different animals, you're the rabbit, you're the dog, you're the cat. And those things are, you know, based on 12 years. So, and every 12 years, it changes, right? So there's also 5 elements, right? So 5 elements with the 12 animals, you have 60 years. So let's say you were born in the year of the rabbit, right? So every 12 years, it's the year of the rabbit. But each 12 years is a different element of the rabbit. So maybe when you were born in the year of the wood rabbit. Okay, so then it'll be, you know, next 12 years, it'll be the fire rabbit, and then the earth rabbit, and the metal rabbit, and the water rabbit. And so by the 60th year, you come back to your birth element and your birth animal, right? So that's very important because basically your life has gone through all of the elements. Then you come back to the original, which is your birth element and year, which means it's your new cycle. You can start something new. And so for us, we're doing that too. We're adjusting. We're not throwing everything out, but we're just adjusting practice, and we're trying to learn and see what works best for everybody. So when you reach your 60, and this is a little bit, it's not exact, not like, okay, it's your birthday, boom, okay, you got a totally new cycle, but it's the idea that the energy is changing, and that, you know, when you reach your 60th year, for example, okay, that's like a rebirth. You can try, a lot of people do something new when they retire, for example. They don't keep doing the same thing. So similar with us, we want to adjust our teaching. So we're incorporating basic 8. We're trying to vary up the practice a little bit to keep it a little bit interesting, because really when we do our practice, when I do my practice, it's not always the same every day. I adjust it based on how I feel and seasons. And so there's a lot of different factors, and we want to respect that, so that, you know, you don't have to eat cereal every morning, or, you know, a vegetable salad for lunch every day. You know, you kind of want to vary it up and keep it interesting, because you want to stay in the moment, and you can sort of be more fluid in your practice. I'm going to get to some questions real quick, but yeah, so respect to that, we are doing some new things this 60 cycle day. I'm also have some other classes that are planned to integrate, and some of this is more pre-recorded stuff to be online. So we're testing out different ways to teach that people can sort of absorb and learn these exercises better. We also want to do more stuff for people who want to learn a little bit deeper, you know, about the channels, about how each of these exercises really work. So we want to really break it down for people, and not everyone wants to know that stuff, so I understand, but for people who do, and I've gotten some requests, I do want to do that, and also that would be more for practitioners as well, people who want to teach it to other people. Okay, so, oh, thank you. Yes, it's Hawaiian Shirt Day. So I figured, hey, you know, it's the start of summer, right? Well, the start for Chinese calendar, you know, we started summer back in Cinco de Mayo. But this is kind of the Western start of, or US start of summer. So how do you know what element year you're born? Actually, Google has a good tool. So if you Google Chinese horoscope, there's websites that gives you like a breakdown, like they'll ask you like what year you were born, and what month, and based on that, you know, they'll tell you what animal and what element you were born into. Because if you were born in January or February, sometimes you're actually still in the previous year technically, because the Chinese calendar, the Chinese New Year usually starts sometime in January or February. So you can't be sure just by the year. You have to know also the month. Let's see, does the birth element and animal have an impact on which of your 5 elements? Yes, it does affect you. So that does play a role. There's also the thing we call the I Ching and the stems and branches. Okay, not to get too deep dive into it, but there's a whole part of Chinese medicine that's based on numerology. It's a little bit more esoteric, and some people believe it, some people don't. But it's based on your birth time, your birth month, your birthday, and your birth year, and that can tell a lot about your gifts and challenges. Doesn't mean that that can't change, but basically what your life there's a standard trajectory if nothing changes. But of course, all of us, life does change, right? There's nature versus nurture. And our lives changes based on who we meet, our experiences, all that kind of stuff. But there's a certain tendency in our core, and understanding our gifts and challenges. From that, then we can sort of tweak it. We can sort of make changes so that we are not predestined to be doomed to a certain fate. Okay, so that was a lot to talk about. I do want to talk a bit more actually, because there was a good question yesterday about the cycles, and I did mention it, but it didn't get recorded onto the YouTube chat in case you were looking for it there. It was only available if you were there live when I was explaining the 12-year cycle and what each of those 12 years mean in your life up for your 60th year. So I do want to talk about that tomorrow, just to review and to expand on it too, and then also talk about the control cycle. So that's kind of what we're aiming to cover this week. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you have a rest of a good day. You get to relax, enjoy the weather. It's really nice out here. So, okay, good to see you guys. Thank you very much.